I'm gonna pause it. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah. I'll second. Meeting of the Holliday City Council. Ordinance 2021 was passed as reserved the city of Holiday Island. And there is a requirement that the general fund reserve says enforcing officials, and whereas in keeping the fact requiring two signatures. Be it resolved by the city council of the city of and one dispersing official by the city council designated as authorized dispersing officials of the city of general fund reserve. City council the state first sentence in the first whereas. You read different versions I have printed. Well, I read it as, yeah, I read it as. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm looking at this time. I read it as city, so. We need to move on that. Yeah. Aye. Hi.
Hey, Dan? Dan? Hello?
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Your sound is not coming through at all. Zero. Every so often a blup and that's about it.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear us now? Now. Well, I don't know where to change or check it. Microphone, web-
Hey, Lynn,
Right, yeah.
Lynn, can you hear me?
I can. Does this microphone work better?
Yeah, if you change your mic for the meeting to the webcam, you'll get it. I think you're getting sound through your computer.
Okay, it's set for webcam now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Can you hear me? Are you, obviously you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Go ahead and try it, Dan.
Doug, can you hear me now?
That's good.
Okay,
Yeah, I could hear you a little bit, but not very good.
all right.
It-
I changed the microphone.
Yeah, all right. So the old planning commission has ceased to function. The city is taking on the responsibility of issuing building permits now. However, we don't have a building inspector to actually do the work yet. We're starting to advertise for one in order to bridge the gap between now and when we get our building inspector on board and that person is up to speed. Doug Taylor and Mickey Finefield have graciously offered to act in an advisory capacity to help us during this transition period. We've gone through a couple of different iterations of a contract. The last issue being that Doug and Mickey wanted some wording in the contract that the city would indemnify them, against any problems that might come up as associated with their volunteer work or practically volunteer work. I ran that by our city attorney, who got stuck in Hawaii over the holidays.
Poor baby.
Tough place to be stuck.
He wasn't drinking.
But anyway, he's delayed a couple of days in getting back to the States, but he did check his email and he told me that the sentence in the original draft of the contract where the city would indemnify Tayfield had to be taken out because it's violates the Arkansas Constitution, Article 12, Section 5. And so apparently cities aren't allowed to indemnify companies. So I reworded the contract yesterday, I guess, or maybe late the day before, to make it more specific that Hayfield is acting solely in a council or an advisory capacity to the city building inspector, and we'll get to that in a minute. That way, they're somewhat, insulated from any kind of issues, because they won't be signing any city documents or issuing any permits or anything like that. So the plan is subject to council approval that since our building code allows me to appoint or to hire or appoint a building inspector subject to council approval, what I would like to do is appoint myself as building inspector on an interim basis. And then I would attend all of the meetings with Mickey and Doug. I would be the one actually signing all the building permits. So the permits would be signed by a city official. That I think will work satisfactorily until we can bring somebody on board. So with that, I guess I could read the contract into the minutes. It's not that long.
Can we ask a couple of questions, just out of curiosity?
Sure.
You ran it by council and they took the one sentence out. But I'm assuming since they're conducting strictly city business, they'd be entitled to the same municipal immunity that we would. And would that mean that they'd be defended by the same?
No,
If
I
they
don't
can.
think as a contractor to the city, I don't think that they would be covered under the same.
Well, we'd almost be vicariously liable for anything they did. That's why I wondered if the municipal league would pick up their defense. It's not, we may not need to discuss that today. I just wanted the council brought any of that up.
The fact that they're not signing anything.
Yeah, I think it's very remote anyway.
All they're doing is making a recommendation, so that anything would come back to the city.
Yeah, but attorneys can be really imaginative.
Oh, yeah. Well, they can sue anything.
I didn't know if the municipal league would pick up their defense as a city function. It seems extremely rare with it limited.
I don't know what the municipal league can and can't do. But all I know is that the city cannot indemnify a private company.
Well, municipal league will defend us.
Well, defend us, yeah. And that's a city function. That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
And we'd be vicariously liable for their, I would think, since they're an agent of ours. So we may actually be in, well, never mind. Let's not go there.
Let me read the contract. A contract for consulting services effective January 7th, 2022. The city of Holiday Island is contracting with Tayfield Consulting to provide advisory services relative to the duties as described for the building inspector for the city of Holiday Island Building Code. For this agreement, those responsibilities include examine and advise on the approval of any application pertaining to the construction, renovation, or extension of buildings, signs, or structures, and to advise if the application conforms to the provisions of the building code advise as to the compliance with the building code and other applicable zoning requirements, and advise the applicant of issues pertaining to an application. Written notice stating the reasons for denial will be provided as required with any building permit that is denied. Advise as to the revocation of approvals where provisions of applicable codes are being violated. Hayfield Consulting will specifically not issue any permits, provide inspection services, or issue occupancy permits. Hayfield Consulting will be in attendance during the regular office hours 1 day per month for consultation of applications, and will from time to time attend scheduled appointments to review applications. The city of Holiday Island will provide the necessary space, equipment, and materials for conducting the meetings. A member of the City of Holiday Island Planning Commission will attend all meetings. Compensation will be made in the amount of 1/2 of the revenue received from permit fees and will be paid monthly by the 10th of the month following the service period. It is understood that Hayfield Consulting is not licensed to do building inspection and as such is not responsible for the enforcement of the building code or other ordinances once construction has begun. This agreement shall terminate on April 30th, 2022, but may be extended by agreement of both parties. The agreement can be terminated by either party with 30 days written notice. So, any other questions, comments? I think this is an incredibly generous offer on Mickey and Doug's part to help us make sure that we get off on the right foot, that we don't mess up.
Are they gonna, not terminating an inspection with it, are they going to make any kind of provide any kind of
Oversight of the
oversight
actual
to see
construction?
that people
No.
actually are doing what they said they were gonna do?
No, they didn't before, and they're not going to going forward. If we want inspection done, we'll have to hire maybe one of the building inspectors from a neighboring town to come and do inspections for us.
Hopefully, I would think we wouldn't have to do that, we could get something.
Yeah, I've been told that if you don't have a licensed inspector, that it would be difficult to defend a stop work order. So if I go out on the job site and I see something I don't like and I issue a stop order and I'm not a licensed inspector, I may have trouble defending that in court. So if we need inspection to be done, there's 3 licensed building inspectors in the other 3 cities in Carroll County. We can always talk to one of them about coming over on a hourly basis or whatever and do inspection. But in the final analysis, any construction project, any place is dependent on the integrity of the contractor, and I believe that even says that in our building code somewhere. So, any other discussion? Mickey or Doug, do you want to add anything?
Mickey, you'll have to unmute your microphone.
I just turned mine back on. It looked fine to me. I think it'll work really well. And, we're just happy we're able to help.
Make a motion, we approve the contract.
Okay, Ken made a motion to approve the contract.
I'll second it.
Pat seconded it. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, the contract is approved. Now, I would like to appoint myself as the interim building inspector. Do I have a motion to approve me as the interim building inspector?
I make a motion that Dan appoint Dan as a temporary building inspector at a pay of $0.
Oh, we had to add that in there.
I'll second
Is
that.
this, is this over and above the $0 I already get?
No,
Give us a 10% raise.
All right. Jerry made a motion. Do we have a second?
I said I'll second it.
Ken seconded it. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right.
Have you got a tick list of your jobs yet or not?
I was gonna be at the meeting anyway, so signing the building permit is no big deal. Okay, that's, moving on, public comments. We have the public here. Any comments?
3 of them.
I have a question, Ken Brown, 7 Cypress Point Lane. I've been to many of the planning commissions previously, but let's say that somebody comes with a 2,000 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath and so forth. Well, approximately what was the building fee, the permit that you need?
It's $24 per,
Dan, Dan,
yeah,
just to make it, could you repeat the questions? We have a very difficult time hearing any conversation.
all right. Ken, why don't you come over to this chair here, somewhere closer to the mic.
Apparently that microphone and that camera.
Okay, Ken Brown, 7 Cypress Point Lane. I attended several of the planning commissions and meetings in the past years, but what would an average building fee be for, let's say, a 2,000 square foot home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath? What would a builder have to pay now in the city of Holiday Island for that? What would building fee, permit fee be approximately?
For how many square
It'll be
feet?
math today. The building fees, the fee schedule is in the building permit on the website.
Okay,
And I think it's $24 per 100 square feet.
okay, good. Thank you.
48, 400.
With a minimum of $400, I believe.
Yeah, a minimum of $400,
Okay, thanks a lot.
which by any standards of any other city in anywhere, our fees are incredibly reasonable. The city basically adopted the fee structure that the old planning commission was charging. We don't want to make it punitive to build houses in Holiday Island. We want to encourage house building. As time goes by, we may have to adjust those. I think the fee structure should cover at least the cost of the building inspector. So, I don't think the city needs to make money on the fees, but we certainly would like to break even on it. So after we get a little more experience in what it costs to actually have a licensed building inspector and do the inspections and everything, then maybe they'll be adjusted, but for now, they're incredibly reasonable.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All right. Scheduling, when did we have the workshop scheduled? The brainstorming workshop?
Next week, February 3rd, January 13th, I think.
Next week.
On the minutes, we have the next meeting, special meeting for goal setting workshop, January 13th, 1 p.m.
I didn't put that in my phone, so I lost track of it.
that's the council, right?
That's the
City council.
What's the planning commission meeting?
Planning commission meeting is next Tuesday, the 11th at 1 p.m.
And we'll be getting the agenda.
1
on
p.m.
that this
also
week.
then?
Yeah.
Need to get those out.
13th at 1 p.m. is a workshop. And then what we have from the minutes, the next regular meeting is January 18th.
All right,
At 6 p.m.
any other scheduling to consider? Any announcements?
Do we want to talk about these ads of what we're gonna do,
The what?
the ads?
Oh, we can, yeah.
Well,